Physics Class 11 Chapter 7 Systems of Particles and Rotational Motion. In the last class we have studied dynamics of rotational motion. Today we shall study angular momentum in case of rotation about a fixed axis. The general expression for the total angular momentum of system of n particles is vector L equal to sigma I equal to 1 to n vector Ri cross vector Pi. Now we have studied that the expression for the total angular momentum of system of n particle is given as vector L equal to summation I equal to 1 to n vector Ri cross vector Pi. Ri is the position vector, Pi is the linear momentum, and linear momentum P is given as m into v. M is the mass, P is the linear velocity. So for the ith particle, Pi equal to mi into vi. Okay, so this expression of the total angular momentum we have derived previous classes. Consider a rigid body rotating about z-axis with angular velocity omega. Now we take a body which is rotating about z-axis with angular velocity omega. The whole body will have the angular velocity same, that is omega. Consider a typical point P whose position vector with respect to origin O is vector R. So we take a typical point, point P is position vector with the origin we consider as vector R. Okay, and the point P is describing a circular path with center C on the axis, and this point P is describing a circular path with a center C on the axis of rotation and moves with linear velocity v, and it is moving, so therefore it is moving with the linear velocity v, and the velocity v will be tangential to the circular path. Okay, so this is moving with linear velocity v. From the figure, vector r equal to vector OC plus vector CP. Now in the triangle OCP, if you apply the triangle law of vector addition, then OP, that is vector r, equal to vector OC plus vector CP. Okay, I am applying the triangle law of vector addition in triangle OCP. So OP equal to OC plus CP, but OP is vector r, so vector r equal to vector OC plus vector CP. So I apply here from the triangle figure. Okay, applying triangle law of vector addition, you get vector r equal to OC plus CP. The angular momentum of particle at P is, now we know the angular momentum of a particle P is given as the formula r vector L equal to vector r cross vector P. R is the position vector and P is the linear momentum, and L is the angular momentum of at a particle at point P. Okay, now R value, from here you can put vector OC plus vector CP, and this vector cross this P as it is, where P is a linear momentum and P value is m into v. Open the bracket, so OC cross P plus CP cross P. Okay, now put the value of P equal to m into v. M is the mass, v is the velocity. Okay, so OC cross vector P you can put as m vector v plus CP cross P vector as m cross m vector v, quadratic equation number 1. Now magnitude of velocity v, as v is equal to omega into r perpendicular. Now we know the relation between the angular velocity and the linear velocity is v is equal to r into omega. Okay, so that relation I am using, v is equal to omega into r perpendicular. What is r perpendicular? R perpendicular is the perpendicular distance of P from the axis. So this is the distance r perpendicular, the perpendicular distance of P, point P from the axis, that is CP. Okay, the CP distance or the radius distance we call it as r perpendicular. The perpendicular distance of point P from the axis of rotation, that is CP, and that we have taken as r perpendicular. V is a tangential at P. Okay, as I already said that the velocity, linear velocity is tangential at the point P. So you can draw the tangent, it will give the direction of the velocity, linear velocity. Therefore by right hand rule, CP cross V parallel to fixed axis, and that is why if you use right hand rule, then the cross product of CP and V, okay, CP and V will be parallel to the axis. Parallel to axis means this is the axis of rotation, right? And I'm saying that here CP cross CP cross V is parallel to the z axis. Now unit vector along the z axis is k vector. Okay, unit vector along the z axis k unit or k cap. Okay, so that means if I write this CP cross m into v vector, this value, okay, If I write this in a magnitude form, then Cp, we already know that Cp is the perpendicular distance, r perpendicular, m as it is, v will be as it is, and it, as I say that it is along the z axis of rotation, therefore you write unit vector along the z axis, that is k cap. Okay, why along z axis unit vector is k cap, right? So Cp cross mv we can write as r perpendicular mv k cap. R perpendicular is a perpendicular distance of p from the center, from the axis, and m is the mass and v is the linear velocity. So that means vector Cp cross m into vector v equal to r perpendicular m, and v we can write as omega into r perpendicular, right? V value is omega into r perpendicular, k cap. Okay, the k cap remains as it is because along the z axis it is, right? Now you can see here r perpendicular is 2 times, you can write r perpendicular square, m as it is, omega as it is, k cap. Similarly, we can check OC cross V is perpendicular to Z axis. Now in the same manner we can check that vector OC cross vector V. Okay, vector OC cross vector V, they are perpendicular to the Z axis. Okay, OC cross V, the cross product of OC and V will be perpendicular to Z axis. Now from equation 1, okay, this is equation 1. From equation 1, this is L equal to this value, right? So right here L equal to OC cross M vector V plus Cp cross M vector V. Cp cross M vector V is nothing but this value. Okay, we have derived. So put the value here in this place. So I put here M r perpendicular square omega k cap equal to, now this value I called as the Lz. Okay, this I denote by Lz. So what I can write as vector L equal to this as it is, vector OC cross M into vector V plus Lz, where Lz equal to this value M r perpendicular square omega into k vector. This is called your, this I have called as a part of vector L along z axis. Total angular momentum of the whole rigid body, vector L equal to summation vector Li equal to summation vector Liz plus summation vector OCI plus MIVI. Okay, so now this is for the particular point or particular point P, right? We have derived for P, but we have got on a rigid body there are many points, therefore the total angular momentum will be the sum of these Li's. Okay, sum of the Li. This is only for a particular point P, but we want to find the total angular momentum, so then you have to sum the angular momentum of each particle. So that will be given as vector L equal to sigma Li equal to sigma this value. Okay, I am just doing the summation of this. So sigma Liz plus, you can write this is vector sigma vector Liz plus summation of this value, but O is fixed, but C center will be different for different point, right? And the perpendicular distance of a point from the center will be different, from the axis will be different. So C is written as Ci. Okay, for the ith particle. For mass will be Mi and V will be Vi. For different particle, ith particle will be different, right? So I have written here I suffix for all these. O is fixed, so O will remain fixed. Let Lz and L perpendicular be the components of vector L along z axis and perpendicular to z axis. Now we are going to denote Lz, the component of vector L along z axis, and L perpendicular as a component of vector L perpendicular to z axis. Okay, so L perpendicular will be, these are the perpendicular, right, and this is the along the z axis. So this value will be R perpendicular equal to OCI summation OCI cross MIVI. Okay, this is my perpendicular component, this is the parallel component, or you can say the along the z axis, along the axis of the rotation. So L perpendicular equal to summation, this just write as L perpendicular, and this you write as a Lz along the z axis, along the axis of rotation equal to summation Liz equal to summation Liz. We can place the value what we have derived is sigma Mi Ri square omega k. Okay, this is what we have derived before. Okay, that what I am writing, M R perpendicular square omega k cap, right? But this is for the typical point or the particular point P. For the ith point you write Mi Ri omega fixed, because for the whole body the angular velocity is same, so omega will not change, and along the z axis, so k unit, k cap. Okay, so I am writing here as summation mi ri square omega k cap. But you know that summation mi ri square, this is nothing but your moment of inertia. Okay, summation mi ri square is moment of inertia, so this value I place as capital I, this omega into k cap as it is, where r is equal to moment of inertia equal to summation mi ri square. Okay, we have done this moment of inertia. Okay, so this value is moment of inertia. For symmetric rigid body, L perpendicular is 0. If you are taking a body which is symmetric, then the L perpendicular, that is a perpendicular component of the vector L, will be 0. Okay, so that means this value will be 0, right? If this value is 0, this value is 0, that means vector L will be summation of Li z, right? Summation of Li z, or summation of you can just say that it is the Lz component, right? Because only the component remains, if perpendicular component is 0, then only the component remains is the along the axis of rotation. So for symmetric body, rigid body, L perpendicular is 0. That means vector L, this vector L will be only the component which are along the axis of rotation will be giving you total angular momentum. So you can write vector Lz equal to, and that is nothing but vector Lz is I omega k cap, right? Coed equation number 2. So if you are taking a rigid body which is symmetric, then L perpendicular is 0. In our calculation, usually we are taking rigid body which is symmetric. Okay, so L perpendicular is 0, then the total angular momentum is nothing but I omega k cap, coed equation number 2. For bodies which are not symmetric about the axis of rotation, L not equal to Lz. Therefore, L does not lie along the axis of rotation. Now see, now if it is not symmetric, then L is not equal to Lz, not along the axis of rotation. That means L does not lie along the axis of rotation. In the previous case where we saw that the L is along the, the symmetrical body, L is along the Lz, right, along the axis, right? But if it is not symmetric body, then L is not along the axis of rotation. Now from equation 2, okay, this equation 2, you take equation 2, L equal to Lz equal to I omega k cap. So I take that Lz equal to I omega k cap, differentiate with respect to time. So here dLz by dt equal to d by dt of I omega k cap, right? But we have that, we know that dl by dt is nothing but tau, okay, torque. So dl by dt is equal to tau. Okay, so we put here C dLz by dt equal to tau k cap, and dl perpendicular by dt equal to 0, because perpendicular component is 0, and dLz by dt equal to, this we can put from here tau. So tau vector k cap, tau vector tau k cap, this is the unit vector k cap. Therefore for rotation about fixed axis, the component of angular momentum perpendicular to axis is constant. Now see, if you say dl perpendicular by dt equal to 0, that means this value should be constant. Okay, we know this is the derivative of any constant value is 0. So here derivative of L perpendicular is 0, that means L perpendicular should be constant. So that means the angular momentum perpendicular to axis is constant, right? And Lz equal to I omega k. Okay, and Lz is I omega k. I is the moment of inertia, omega is the angular velocity, and k cap is the along the z axis, or along the axis of rotation, that is here z. Okay, so it is k cap. Now dLz by dt is equal to d by dt of I omega. Okay, we go back to the derivative, right? This one, dLz by dt equal to d by dt of I omega, not taking the k cap. Okay, only taking the differential of I omega. I omega equal to tau. This implies I as it is, and d omega by dt equal to tau. Why we are writing tau? Because we know that dl by dt equal to tau, right? So that means this dl by dz, dLz by dt also is nothing but tau. Okay, so it is torque written here. This value is tau, and this value also is this, right? So therefore writing as tau. So now I d omega by dt equal to tau, but d omega by dt is rate of change in the angular velocity that gives you angular acceleration. So that means this is I, and this value is alpha equal to tau. So tau equal to I into alpha, and this relation we have derived before. Okay, which we have derived using work kinetic energy root. This relation we have derived using the work and kinetic energy. So tau equal to I into alpha. So that means I is moment of inertia and alpha is the angular acceleration. So we have studied today the angular momentum in case of rotation about a fixed axis for a rigid body. Okay, so we'll keep this much for today. Thank you very much.